A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dharma. So today is the 24th November 2022 Thursday class. So we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, Straight from the Heart, the Unique Dharma Quote by Brother Teo. So we will commence our puja chanting. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวาพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิ Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Panati Pata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Surameraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Sadhu Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, you all can be seated. Then we will continue our puja chanting by chanting the Padipa Puja. And to page 3 of the chanting book. Okay, Padipa Puja. Offerings of light. Ganna Sarapaditena Dipena Tamadangsina Tiloka Dipang Sambutang Pujayami Tamodudang Gandha Sambarayutena Dupena Hang Sugang Hina Puye Pujaniyang Tang Puja Bhajana Muttamang Vanna Ganda Guno Petang Petang Kesuma Santatin Pujayami Munindasa Siri Pada Sarorohe Pujemi Budang Kesumena Nena Punnena Matena Cha Hotu Mokang Pupang Milayati Yata Idang Me Kayo Tata Yati Vinasa Bhavang Adi Setu No Bante Paniyang Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patikan Hatu Mutamang Adivase no Bante Pale Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patikan Hatu Mutamang Adivase no Bante Bojanang Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang. Okay, we will now chant the puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dharma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offerings of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruits of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits, born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Sada, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers. Finally, sharing and transfer marriage to all beings. May this marriage be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, we help pay respect to Bhajan. Buddhang Pujemi. Dhammang Pujemi. Sanghang Pujemi. Okay, you all can be seated. Okay, so before I start, would like to uh, maybe all of you might have heard the news. We finally managed to see a new PM number 10. I think most people would have been worried if the PM is otherwise. So we would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has helped out in contributing to the change in the shape of consciousness where all this become possible. All of your faith, your good mind state, and contribution towards the collective consciousness has bring about the causes and condition for this to be possible. Then also all Kayamitas, our chanting where we invoke power of merits, especially the part on Devo Vasatakalina, Sasa Sampati Hetucha, Vito Bhavatu Lokocha, Raja Bhavatu Damiko. So we hope for good weather, good harvest, prosperity for the country, and a righteous king and government. So all these are very important causes and conditions. So hopefully from now onward, we can have a more united country, a unity government, like the king say, all are inclusive, and is supposed to be a very efficient and very well balanced type of functioning government. So looking forward to the bright future of our country. In fact, the first sign is the ringgit recovered. Then after that was the stock market rally. So Brother Teo have a joke just now at the dinner. He said, next time vote of confidence, no need to look at the candidate, look at the stock market. Then you roughly will be able to predict how the vote is going to be. Anyway, thank you so much. Okay, so now, as usual, we will off the light, then we can have our half an hour of awareness-based meditation. Okay. So as usual, just remember the four support for awareness-based meditation, then just develop them. The first three are very simple, but you need to develop understanding. The first support is relax. Relax both body and mind. When you are completely relaxed, you are at ease without thought because there is no problem at all. When you are at ease, your mind is free, your body is without stress. But when you have problem, unresolved issue or fear, worry, anxiety or insecurity, then it will condition you into negativity or mind states. It will stress you up. That's why you cannot relax and you cannot develop the meditation, especially awareness within. So once you are able to relax, then the second support becomes very easy. Yes, aware. Aware means before the knowing, before the perception, means whatever arises within nature, within the environment. Because as a human being, we have the five aggregates of form and mind. We have the five physical senses together with the brain, the sixth sense door. So upon contact of mind with the sixth sense door and the respective sense door consciousness, we tend to develop the movement of the mind. This movement, which is the mental activity, You must have mindfulness and awareness to observe them, to understand them. Otherwise, you will be deceived and deluded by them. So this second support of aware means just aware. Finish. No need to do anything. No need to know. No need to do. When you try to know and try to do, the thought become active. That's why you cannot be aware. So don't try to know. Don't try to do anything. Then no thought will arise. So like hearing, upon impingement of the vibration or whatever sense data upon your ear, then there is this consciousness that arises. It's like the physics experiment naturally arise. When you become conscious, just aware. Finish it. Don't even try to perceive. Because the moment you perceive without wisdom, you tend to think. If you can be aware, perceive, then finish. Also very good. Then the perception will give rise to the knowing. Then stop. But the best is don't try to know. Just aware. Finish. Smell also same. Taste also same. Seeing also same. Then tactile also same. You feel the tactile movement. Aware. Finish. You feel your heartbeat. Aware. Finish. Uh, Whatever that trigger of mental activity, just aware, even your thought activity, especially from the brain, because our brain is where the memories are. So thought are respond to memory, your unfinished thought process, your unfinished daily activity. Uh, they will continue to arise and haunt you because you still have not finished it off. You carry it, you worry about it. You have this subtle like unease or insecurity or lack of understanding where you haven't developed the understanding to deal with it. So all this can give rise to mental thinking, that thought which creates the fear in you, the worry, anxiety, and the habitual tendency will continuously arise. So meditation is to silence our mind, to see all this, to understand all this. When we observe silently with the awareness, then we know how we are conditioned into such negativity or mind state. Why our mundane mind move in that particular manner. That's why we will come to know clearly who are we, what are we, and how do we function as a human being. This is what vipassana is all about. This is what mindfulness, awareness is all about. You become sensitive, you become aware, and through this awareness, the negativity of mind state that arise can be observed. Your defilement can be observed. There are a lot of defilements. Whatever mind state that has the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion are defilements. So your fear, your anxiety, your phobia, your insecurity, your lack of peace, your suffering, your misery, your sorrow are all born of your wrong thought, delusion that condition you to grasp, cling, and hold because you don't know how to resolve them. So awareness-based meditation is to see all this, to understand all this. But initially, we have to train our mind until this awareness become very stable before you can do all those things. So the stability of it is very important. That's why the four support. First, relax, which I have explained. Then aware. Aware means Just aware, finish. Aware, finish. Then sometimes if you have the habitual tendency of aware, perceive, then also finish. Don't allow it to continue to proliferate so that you are lost in thought. You get preoccupied with what that thought is telling you. Then you are no longer in the state of awareness to meditate, to understand what is going on because your thought has taken you away. You have actually wandered off, preoccupied with that thought process, that creation, the stirring, the reaction to sense experience. So observe all this and understand why one cannot meditate. Why is one not peaceful? Well, these are all mental hindrance, either sensual desire or ill will, uh, or restlessness of mind, or doubt, or even sloth and torpor, sleepiness. So all this, when you have mindfulness, you can see them. And these are mental hindrance according to the teaching. So if they are mental hindrance, they will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness. That's why you cannot develop it. So this will bring us to the third support. After you continuously train to relax, aware, then the third support is maintain awareness for as long as you can. Technically, it's 24 hours. Just do that. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Just stabilize it. Then all the observation will come by itself. The understanding will come by itself. The insight into phenomena will happen by itself. The direct seeing will happen by itself. But it can only arise if your sati has been developed and stabilized. Otherwise, it can't. Okay? The fourth support you don't do so early unless you have progress and you are going for the bodhisattva way. Then you do the fourth support. The fourth support is trust. Trust your nature to do the meditation, to have the awareness-based nature to develop the movement. No interference from the thought process. No thought is involved. Everything is from that nature. So that one for those who have already developed the stability of mindfulness and have the understanding, then you can go for the fourth support. You just relax, maintain awareness, and silence everything and stay at the heart area until this awareness nature detect whatever movement or gateway where your nature is. That one you need to be very patient. You need to train and allow time for it to happen. When it happens, you will understand. Okay, you can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Then we will turn to page 6 of the chanting book. We will chant the invocation to the Devas. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhammasvanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasvanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma savanan kalo ayang badanta. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Iti beso bhagava arahang sama sambuddho. Vijja charana sampanno sugato lokavidu. Anuttaro purisa dhammasarti satta deva manusanang buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko kaliko ehipasiko panayiko pacetang veditavo vinohiti supatipanno bhagavato sangho ujupatipanno bhagavato sangho nyayapatipanno bhagavato sangho Yami Jipatipanno Bhagavato Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaneyo Anotarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you all can be seated. So now we shall continue with our sharing from this book, the unit Dharma quotes, straight from the heart, written by me. We are at quote number 15, 1-5. So this quote number 15 is very good. It's actually explain how we can check our training or meditation. So the best way to check one's cultivation is explained by this quote. So you pay attention to this quote. Whenever one is not peaceful and unhappy, then the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion are there. This is the best way to check one's cultivation. So this quote 15 and 16, they are related and they are very important. So you look at the whiteboard, unique Dharma quote number 15. The word Dharma is missing. I write down. So basically, I put the title as How to Check Defilements. In fact, this is one of the simplest and most effective way to check our defilement, to see our mental negativity. So if you read on quote 16, Dharma Code 16. Then you will understand. Dharma Code 16 explain is it develop mindfulness well. This is very important. That's why mindfulness is very important. You can develop it well, then the ability to make you sensitive enough to notice all the fine and subtle negativity of mind state. That's why without mindfulness, you are not sensitive enough. You cannot see all this. So your inability to see all this will prevent you from developing the understanding or the wisdom. So how do we check our mind, whether they are with the defilements or not, whether the kilesas are there or not? These are mind states that has the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, like I've explained. Unless you understand what are greed, hatred, and delusion, you can never understand what constitutes evil. So one has to reflect, contemplate deep into these three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. Then only you can check whether the defilements are there or not. So, like I said, the best way is to be aware, to be sensitive, to detect our mind state. So I simplify it for you. I say, just check whether you are peaceful or not, whether you are happy or not. So the quote mentioned, whenever one is not peaceful and unhappy, it means the evil roots are there, defilements are there, delusions are there. And this is the best way to check your cultivation. Yeah. Most of the time throughout the day when we live our life, I don't know whether you all have done it before or not. If you have checked it before, then you will understand. Most of the time, people without Dhamma, they are not happy. Their mind is not peaceful because they haven't trained their mind. The mind that is untrained thinks a lot, heedless. And the reason why it is heedless and think a lot is because the defilements are there. And this defilement arises because of your mental hindrance, sensual desire, ill will, restlessness of mind, then doubt. And of course, the other one is sloth and torpor, sleepiness, lethargic mind. These are the five mental hindrances that hinders your mind from entering the meditative state. And it is there because you lack the opposite five spiritual faculty. So this one we have covered under the earlier unit Dhamma code. So if you are not train your mind to develop the five spiritual faculty, then this mental hindrance will be there. And when they are there, it will cause you to have negativity of mind state. You will think the wrong thought that condition your fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow and lamentation, insecurity, etc. And that will make your mind not peaceful, not happy. So the lack of peace and lack of happiness or joy is a very good sign for you to detect that the evil roots are there. You have defilements within your mind states. So this understanding will enable you to refine your practice. You will be able to see clearly your habitual tendency that give rise to all this negativity of mind state, especially the mental hindrance of sensual desire and ill will, your like and dislike. Sometimes it can be very subtle. And also the way you are conditioned into accepting things as pleasant and unpleasant. Human beings tend to create reality. We are attracted to pleasant things. We crave and desire for pleasant things. When it's unpleasant, we feel agitated. There is this negative tendency or reaction to reject it or to do away with it. That's why we call it unpleasant feeling, especially when you encounter pain, yeah, restlessness of mind, itchiness of mind, numbness, where you feel your body is not functioning the way it should function. So all these are mind states that arise due to lack of wisdom, lack of understanding. And most of it is from your habitual tendency born of wrong view, wrong thought, because you have already throughout the day, when you are without mindfulness and understanding, the Dharma understanding, you tend to stir your mind a lot. Every moment of sense experience, when you see something, you hear something, you smell something, you tactily feel something, or you think of something, your mind tends to stir and react to it, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, whether you like it or you dislike it. So this type of sensual desire and ill will, like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience, is an acquired habitual tendency born of wrong view. Why can't we contemplate and reflect and tell ourselves whatever that arises, there are causes and conditions behind, like what the Buddha mentioned. The causes and condition there, you cannot change the condition. The condition is already set. So things is just the way it is. That's why you have to accept that reality. Ability to accept that reality is wisdom. So the next few quotes, you look at the whiteboard, quote 17, 18, and 19 is about acceptance. Acceptance is wisdom. Yeah. So if you have the ability to reflect and contemplate, then it will reverse your habitual tendency. It will help you root out your wrong thought, your delusion, your fear, your insecurity, your whatever. Because at the moment of sense experience, whatever arises is already decided by the causes and conditions at that time. So we have to come to terms with that reality and accept it first. When you accept, you are at peace, even though it can be a very, very negative situation or a happening that you don't like, uh, that you think is going to affect you or your family or your life or your career or whatever. But these are realities that arise with every moment of life, every moment of sense experience. Whether you like or you don't like, nature is nature. Nature has its own sets of law. So if you lack wisdom, you cannot accept things as they are or see things as they are, means you cannot have acceptance of what happened within the moment, then you are being deluded. You have wrong view, saccadity, self-delusion, where you want things your way, which is not nature's way. That's why it cannot manifest, it cannot happen. So in life, there are a lot of happenings or situations where living beings Without this Dharma understanding and wisdom cannot go. That's why they cannot free their mind. Most of the time, they create the duality of like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience, to accept or to reject. So a lot of this understanding is needed when you cultivate. Now I will read on to you the next three quotes, then you will understand. Unique Dhamma quote 17. Yeah? If one can accept the reality of the moment with wisdom, then one can always be at peace. So now you understand. Yeah? You can be always at peace. Because at that moment when you accept, you definitely at peace. But it doesn't mean that you stop there. Because most of the time, things that happen may not go your way. If it doesn't go your way, like sometimes your body develops certain type of complication or sickness or disease, then ask you to accept the reality, you say, what am I going to do? The sickness is terrible. That disease is very traumatic. Uh, so all these are realities of life and existence. Then sometimes certain very negative thing may happen. It may be a career disaster or economic disaster or nature's condition that give rise to what they call uh, nature's calamity, uh, like last year's flood and even the recent flood, hurricane, and all those uh, forest fire all over the world. So when we don't have the wisdom to accept the reality and move on, then we will suffer. We will develop fear. We will project our thought and condition our unnecessary fear, worry, anxiety. Then at times we may even panic. You don't know what to do. Then that fear is so intense. Because the thought that project will tell you, what are you going to do? This thing has caused you so much suffering, misery, losses, and all those things. It can be a relationship failure, your career, and all those things. Uh, so these are realities of life and existence. But it doesn't mean that you accept and stop there. Because you have to still live life, overcome the problem, resolve issue which we have covered earlier on. So Dharma cultivation, you have to understand all these unique codes which are pointer to help you free your mind. That's why acceptance is a very deep-rooted understanding. So here, I will maybe mark it, this word, acceptance. When you develop this ability to accept, it doesn't mean you stop there and you don't act. Acceptance is wisdom. When you can accept, means you understand nature's law. You understand the causes and conditions behind. Thing is just the way it has to be this way. And then we act. That's how you solve your problem, the previous code. How do we act as a cultivator of the way? We don't act according to memory, to trigger of the wrong thought. The fear, worry, anxiety, insecurity, sorrow, lamentation, etc., phobia. Instead, we act according to Dharma understanding, which is the wisdom way. So we have to apply the Noble Eightfold Path, which is the meditation as taught by the Buddha. Well, when you cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path, it will lead to the end of all suffering. So This understanding is very important. Yeah? I will read on the next two quotes before I explain the Noble Eightfold Path. Then unique quote number 18. Unique Dharma quote number 18. If one can accept the reality of the moment with wisdom and move on, then one will not suffer. This is the second most effective quote to allow you to move on. So when you move on means, like I explained just now, you have to have the Noble Eightfold Path cultivation with you. Otherwise, you cannot move on. Then the next quote, quote 19, is what I have written on the whiteboard. Acceptance is wisdom. When you can accept the reality of the moment and do not stir your mind, your mundane mind, there is no fear, no anxiety, and you will also not blame others. Your mind is quiet, tranquil. Then it will lead to clarity of mind. With this, you can act. You can resolve all your life issues and problems amicably. We are following Noble Eightfold Path and move on with your life smoothly. And this is the most important. Then quote number 20, I must read it for you so that you understand. Noble Eightfold Path is the meditation as taught by the Buddha because cultivating it will lead to the end of all suffering. And this is what the fourth noble truth is all about. Yeah. So this is a very important understanding. Yeah? So now we come on to application of Noble Eightfold Path. So this one is the most important understanding. How do we apply the understanding of Noble Eightfold Path to move on, to act, to solve our life problem? So basically, Noble Eightfold Path has 8 path factors. That's why all these need to be cultivated. So the Buddha said, if you were to cultivate this Noble Eightfold Path, it will lead to the end of all suffering, which means Noble Eightfold Path is the answer to all worldly problems, life's problem. And the first path factor is right view, or right understanding. Then the next one is what? Yeah? What is the next one? After right view is what? Right thought, yes. Right thought. Then what is the next one? Yeah? Right speech. Then? Okay, good. Right action. Then? Right living or right livelihood. Right livelihood. Then number 6 is the 4 right effort. Okay, right effort. Number 7, right sati or mindfulness. The last one is samadhi, right samadhi. And samadhi is not concentration. This one is collectedness of mind, the unwavering mind. So all these Noble Eightfold Path factors, you need to cultivate them. Then only you can act. Then only you can move on and apply this. That's why this is a topic where most cultivators fail to cultivate. Even after you have developed the formal meditation or daily mindfulness, after you have insight into phenomena, awaken to the 3 universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, you still need to come back to cultivate all this. Because that one is just to give you the direct seeing, the insight. That one is very penetrating. That one will let you have a lot of right view. That's why you need to have them first. After you have them, then this right view become very easy. Otherwise, you will be deluded. Sakkayaditthi will always be there. So when you insight into phenomena, you will understand what delusion is, self-delusion. Once you understand what self-delusion is, and you also understand the nature's law that governs life and existence, then you can act, then you can free. Mm. So basically, like the Buddha said, after you have developed the enlightenment or awakening, you will have these four type of conducts where the enlightened beings or the Aryas will possess. First, they will have impeccable or perfect conduct, right conduct. Then after that, they have upright conduct, means they are very righteous. This one, their conduct are perfect, impeccable. Then the next one is they are very wise. That's why they have wise conduct. And the last one is dutiful conduct. They understand within the conditioned world, you have this right duty towards the law of karma. You cannot simply do things, even though it's non-self, anatta, not what you think, not real, not so real. But there is such thing as law of karma. There is such thing as a human being, the five aggregate of form and mind, even though it's impermanent. You attach and cling, it leads to suffering. And because it's impermanent, it's not a permanent, unchanging entity. That's why it is non-self, anatta. But right duty has to be there. So all this will arise when you have developed the cultivation of the Noble Eightfold Path. But before you cultivate this Noble Eightfold Path, you have to develop mindfulness within the formal meditation and the daily life to insight into phenomena, to awaken, to enable you to have the direct seeing, to see things as they are, so that that penetrating wisdom that can awaken to the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta is there to support you. So this first right view is very important. Basically, we must go through as a revision. There are three types of right view, spiritual aspect that the Buddha talked about under the Pancha Niyamas. The first one is, what is it? The law of karma, yes. So once you know the law of karma, you know that this is a nature's law within the conditioned world. The law of karma recognizes relationship, even though the ultimate realization is non-self, anatta. So this law of karma is very important. The basic understanding of this law of karma is through the realization that the Buddha has perfected. He explained to us very clearly in the five daily contemplation. He said, we are born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma, and we are what we are because of. And that one refers to the human being, the five aggregates of form and mind, the living being. That one is not ultimate Dhamma. That one is mundane Dhamma within the conditioned world. So that right view is very important. To exist, to live life, you need to have that right view, the understanding. Then this law of karma is very powerful, is it? You are not born, not only born of it, heir to it, conditions supported by it, and you are what you are because of it. Your entire life depends on it. That's why you have to take care of karma. And how to do it? We have to avoid evil, or evil, do good, purify the mind by following the advice of the Buddha, Dhammapada 183, verse 183. So, having this understanding, then we need to understand one more thing, which the Buddha actually taught us. Law of karma means moral causation, mental intention involved. If your mental intention has the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, then if you act, speak, and think with the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, suffering will follow you, like the wheel that follow the hoof of the car. So this is Dhammapada verse 1. So in life, if you don't want to have suffering, then you have to act, speak, and think with a wholesome mind, free of the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. And then happiness will follow you, like your shadow that never leaves you. So this is how you have the right view, not to commit evil, to avoid all evil. And what are evil? Whatever that has a three evil root. So related to what I share in the quote, whenever you are not peaceful, not happy, the evil roots are there. Means it will lead to suffering. Aware of it, be mindful of this. Then every moment in life, you will be sensitive. Once you see the evil root, once you realize your lack of peace, lack of joy and happiness, then the evil roots are there. Then you have to trace it through one, through your sensitivity, your mindfulness, stability that you have developed. That's why when you have mindfulness, the slight movement of your mind, the mundane mind, you will be aware. Even the very subtle dislike or unpleasant or feeling of imbalance means not the equanimity that your mind has developed as understanding. That's why the right samadhi is the final perfecter. To develop this, you need to have all this understanding. Then only this one can come about. Otherwise, it's not easy. That's why Noble Eightfold Path is not easy. Then the Buddha make it easier for one to understand. Instead of just Dhammapada verse 1 and 2 with the evil root, very complicated. So what he said is, law of karma is about moral causation, the mental intention. So if your mental intention is evil, have the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, then you plant the seed of evil, is it? You reap what you sow. Do good begins good, do evil begins evil. And that one will be another good guy. That's why whenever you want to do something, the precept will guide you. First precept, Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. What does it mean? We undertake the training rule to abstain from what? Killing or causing harm to fellow living beings. To kill and to cause harm, you need to have evil roots. Otherwise, you won't kill. Without delusion, you won't kill. Without anger, you won't kill. Then without selfishness, greed, you also won't kill. So the three evil roots are there. Even causing harm is the same. So these are very important understanding that we need to contemplate, reflect, and stabilize all this understanding so that we can constantly cultivate the first right view, law of karma. We have to avoid all evil. Means we have to train our mind to be ever mindful, to avoid the five precepts first. Then we go deeper, go beyond the five precepts. We move into what constitutes evil. Means not only restrict to the five precepts. These five precepts are just major evil, like undertake the training to abstain from killing. We add in causing harm to fellow living beings. Then the second one is the undertake the training rule not to steal, not to misappropriate, not to take things that don't belong to us. So that one is basically a general precept. But when you have greediness, covetousness, craving, desire, this one is also greed, understand? This one is also part of greed and delusion. This one is also part of the second precept. If you don't have the refinement of mindfulness to see your subtle greed, your subtle selfishness, or even your minor conceit and all those things, means you can still commit karmic at the more subtle level. So all these are the understanding and the training. Yeah. Then after that, we move on to the second right view, which is after law of karma is what? Right view in regards to law of mind, chitta niyama. So chitta niyama, you need mindfulness to see clearly how you function as a human being, how the paticca samuppada that the Buddha taught us function within life itself. Means every moment of sense experience, every moment of living, we need to be mindful, to be aware, to see this link, the 12 link. The first two is what? Avijja pacha sankhara. How do we see that? How do we know there's avijja or no avijja? First, we must understand avijja is what? Ignorant. But people just stop there, no? Ignorant. Ignorant of what? Ignorant of what? Huh? The Dhamma and the Sangha. Noble truth. The Four Noble Truths especially. So if you don't have that understanding of this Four Noble Truths, you will suffer. So that's why the Four Noble Truths is very important. The Buddha said you have to turn it 3 times, the 3 turning. First Noble Truth is what? He explained to us clearly the life, 8 realities. Means realities of life and existence. Everything within life and existence is never apart from that 8 reality. And when the 8 reality arise, without the Dhamma understanding, it triggers of suffering. That right view is very important. You shouldn't just believe what the Buddha said. Put it into practice, investigate into it. That's why when you are mindful, you can see whether the Buddha is right or not. Yeah. So when you are ignorant of that, means like the first turning, this noble truth of suffering is to be, what is the first turning? Huh? First noble truth of dukkha is to be understood. You have to understand it. Otherwise, you suffer without knowing that you are suffering. Understand? You don't know that this is the first noble truth, reality. That's why people are caught, entangled, even old age, sickness, and death. But they cannot understand. Then separation from loved one, choice, possession, things that you hold on to dearly. Then to be with people whom you don't like. When things don't go your way, when you cannot get what you want. All this can lead to suffering. Then in short, the meditative, the final, 8 reality, where you attach and cling and grasp onto the 5 aggregate of form and mind, that trigger of suffering. That's why the upadana khandas, the grasping aggregate, is suffering. And that right view is very powerful. Then not only stop there, you move on. The cause of arising of suffering, the second noble truth, the Buddha said, is craving. Put it to test, investigate. What is craving? Means when feeling arise, if I attach and cling, do I suffer? That's why pleasant, unpleasant, like and dislike, all this lead to suffering, duality. You grasp, you cling, you hold. If I hold on to perception, attach to possession, crave for things my way, which is not nature's way, you want things your way, you suffer. So feeling, perception, the physical body or mental form, and also after that is your thought process, your activity of mind, your sankhara, your views, your opinion, your mental states, your emotion, your feeling. If you attach and cling, you suffer. Then the last one is consciousness. Then you realize these 5 aggregate must not be grasping aggregate. The moment you have delusion, the evil roots of greed, hatred, it becomes grasping. That's why you have to develop all this understanding to free the mind from all this grasping that cause suffering. Then the third noble truth says suffering need not be. Enlightenment in the here and the now. Nibbana can be realized. That's it. Investigate into it. Silence your mind and find out. That's why the third and the fourth way, the meditative way. Be with it, aware that it exists. Then you realize, yes, whatever negativity of mindset could be anger, hatred, fear, insecurity, or panic attack, or whatever. When you are aware, be with it, exists. Then you realize these are dependent originating, condition arising, not a reality. That's how you free. So all this can lead to a lot of understanding. Then the fourth noble truth is there is a path. If you cultivate this path, it will lead to the end of all suffering. That's why this second right view is very powerful. Right view regards to chitta, your mind, chitta niyama, how you function as a human being. Then the third right view is right view regards to the Dharma, the Four Noble Truths, which I explained. They are all interconnected and related. Now you see. So because of that, once you have developed this right view, when you meditate, your mindfulness and awareness will make you sensitive and you will see the link. Then you will come to know, no wonder avijja. Before you know the Four Noble Truths, you get yourself entangled. Correct? Your suffering, your like, dislike, your duality, your fear, your whatever memory accumulated, your views, opinion, condition, all this come from where? Come from your lack of the Dhamma understanding. That's why you accumulated all this. And from there you act. That's why acting according to memory is not acting. Then you realize every time you go to the memory, there is avijja, wrong view, ignorance. That's why avijja, pacha sankara. When you think without the right view, you create wrong thought. You understand? Your habitual tendency, your defilement, all this surface. Because what you accumulate in your memory are a lot of negative tendency. Your phobia, your fear, your insecurity, your wrong view, your belief system, everything. Even your society. So all this contribute to the wrong thought. That's why avijja pacha sankara. Then you realize every time you think according to that, you create suffering. Then how should you think? How should you act? That's why the Buddha said, acting according to memory. Oh, sorry, this is Krishnamurti said, acting according to memory is not acting. He said, act according to Noble Eightfold Path. When you have all this right view, it prevents you from going to the memory. You understand? Because you have this understanding already, why do you need the old memory that has given you so much trouble to live life? That's why you use this right understanding or right view to live life, the Four Noble Truths. From there, you go to the second turning, the third turning. So first turning is proclamation of truth. Then second turning, this noble truth is to be understood, especially the first noble truth. Then after you have developed the second turning, the third turning is this noble truth or dukkha has been understood, means all the eight reality, you have investigated into it, you have realized it. Then the second noble truth, cause of suffering, you have abandoned it or severed it. Then the third noble truth, you have actually realized it. Oh, sorry, before you realize it, cultivated it. Then the fourth noble truth also say, the noble eightfold path is to be cultivated, that have been cultivated, is to be realized, the third noble truth that has been realized. So all this, once you have finished the three turning, your right view has been perfected. Then you can see the movement because you have mindfulness developed. Avijja pacha sankara. You no longer go to the brain, then you realize when you act according to Dharma understanding, following Noble Eightfold Path, then you realize it does not stir like before. Like law of karma, law of mind. The untrained mind think a lot, restless, natural. I accept. I don't panic. I don't worry. I don't like Chupolian last Tuesday. He go to retreat, he complained. He said a lot of thought, worse than when she was at home. Why? It's because she doesn't understand. She didn't relax, she didn't train, and all this right understanding is not there. That's why when you have all this right understanding, you act according to this right understanding, then you realize your mind is always tranquil, at peace. Because acceptance, right view allow you to accept the reality. Like the Buddha said, law of karma, born of your karma, heir to your karma conditions. You are what you are. So whatever that happens, there are causes and conditions behind it. Most likely is karma. If it's karma, what must you do? You must do what you have to do. Isn't it? You have to act accordingly, isn't it? Based on understanding. Isn't it? Means, if I need to ask for forgiveness, I ask for forgiveness. Understand? Then I make aspiration for repentance, not to do it again. Understand? So repentance and asking for forgiveness is the most important. Then after that, I start to follow the advice of the Buddha to cultivate according to Noble Eightfold Path. Means avoid all evil, do good, and purify the mind. Once the right view is there, the wrong view and the evils are not there. Then to cultivate right thought, right speech, right action, and right livelihood or living become relatively easy. Right view, condition, right thought. We are without evil root. And your condition, right speech, right action. So this one, you can simplify it into right communication skill. The way you communicate with people is the way you communicate with people. So this skillful way of communicating with people without negativity of the evil root, you have to learn to cultivate it. You have to develop it through your own life experience and encounter. So all this I have taught you all before. So you go back and listen to the whole recording, then you will understand. Then when it comes to living, it's very easy. You live following Noble Eightfold Path. Understand? Then you won't go wrong. Then for right effort also I have taught you all. Whenever you are mindful, if the wrong thought has arisen, right effort to abandon it. Understand? Then after you have developed the wisdom, the moment you are aware, it cannot come out already. Because the second turning of the Four Noble Truths is understood. Then when you have understood that, you can have the right effort. Actually, it's not an effort, it's the wisdom that free you to prevent it from arising. The wrong thought, wrong speech, and wrong action. Because automatic. When you have the wisdom, understanding, it cannot arise. It will cease. But you must have mindfulness. That's why mindfulness is very important. So the third right effort is the right speech, right action, and right thought that are still not in you, or right living, right livelihood, they're still not in you. Cultivate it. Then the fourth right effort is to refine upon it, perfect it. Understand? Then this sati, mindfulness, right sati and right mindfulness is cultivating the four foundation of mindfulness here. So here, cultivating four foundation of mindfulness. Four foundation of mindfulness. Then once you have all this understanding, the samadhi will be there. Where this is a wisdom factor. The right samadhi born of wisdom is equanimity, the last enlightenment factor. So this is how you develop it. Then the 12 link, you will see very clearly. How avijja paja sankara. Every time you act according to memory, avijja is there. You act according to Dharma way, following Noble Eightfold Path, no avijja. That's how you free. You can accept because, like the Buddha said, whatever that arises, there are causes. And so no matter what happened to you in life, very likely is related to karma. So first thing first is to ask for forgiveness, then vow not to repeat all this, then repent. Then the second one is follow the advice of the Buddha to reverse all this wrong action, wrong speech, wrong thought, all things, to avoid all evil, to go and meditate, to purify your mind, to develop this noble eightfold path. Once you do this, your parami, your merits, your blessings, your wisdom will be enhanced. You will be perfected. Then this can give rise to a lot of causes and conditions for you to reverse whatever karmic problem. That's why the third support is after you have cultivated this, we are following the advice of the Buddha, you can invoke power of merits for causes and conditions for you to break free from this whatever karmic negativity, or for you to recover from your whatever disease, sickness, or your problem. So all these are understanding that can lead to very beautiful way of resolving your life problem. Understand? So that you can act and move on with your life. So this aspect, last time I didn't have the time to go in because it's a very big topic. But now you are able to see how it connect up all the teaching. That's why last time I already told you all, if you finish whatever form of meditation, it's not enough. You have to come back to the Noble Eightfold Path. This is the fourth noble truth. If you don't cultivate this, you will not develop the enlightenment that the Buddha talked about. Because without Noble Eightfold Path, you cannot have this four conduct or qualities, especially right duty. Wise conduct maybe you already have, but upright and good conduct, very difficult. Without Noble Eightfold Path factor, very difficult. The formal meditation and the daily mindfulness can only give rise to wisdom initially. Then this Noble Eightfold Path, you have to cultivate until it becomes a part of you. That is how you meditate, develop the cultivation. And this is the full spectrum, full range of cultivation. Okay? Any question so far? Huh? If no question, then we move on. So I like to finish off code number 21 also, because this one is also related. Huh? Code 21, I think after that we stop. Unique Dharma code 21. If the meditation that you do does not bring you back to the Noble Eightfold Path cultivation, then that is not the teaching or the meditation as taught by the Buddha. You can go and do whatever you call vipassana or whatever. If it doesn't bring you back to the Noble Eightfold Path factor, it is not the meditation as taught by the Buddha. Because under the Parinibbana Sutta, you remember? What did the Buddha told Ananda? He was answering the last person that met him, the Buddha. He said, as long as the world still has the Noble Eightfold Path, the world will not be empty of Aryas. Remember that sentence. To have Arya, you must have Noble Eightfold Path. That's it. Okay? So we stop here. The day one is very good because I covered the whole thing. Normally, I don't have time to cover the whole thing. So one session to cover all this code, which are all related and connected, is very beautiful. Now only you understand why the unique code, I call it unique. You understand? Because they are not only the code that I mentioned, but I categorize them in the way that is all connected on. That you can develop the understanding of the cultivation. Sadhu. Okay, now we'll open up for second session. So second session is meditation reporting, or followed by whatever question you may have. You can ask me Dharma question or meditation question. Then also application of the Dharma, which is today's topic. Project, are you there?
Hello, Amitofo,
Amitabha, yes.
and all Kayamitas.
Yeah.
For me to share everything.
Or you have
Actually,
any question or not, Project? Today's topic, you can also discuss on today's topic, the unique Dharma code.
actually, Brazil, I just came back from holiday, so
Oh, you were not with us for the whole session today.
no, I wasn't. I was away for a week.
I know
Was
your
away
sister told me you are away, I think, not around.
yes.
You went to
So
Vietnam, is it?
yes, I went to
Yeah.
Vietnam. So maybe I
Uh,
talk a little bit about the Vietnam because I went
your
to
trip, yes.
yes,
Sadhu.
because I went to a temple, Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I had the intention to go some temples because I have never been to a temple in Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam twice. This is my third time. But all the time I never get to visit the temple. Mainly because that time I wasn't that serious into cultivation, But now that I'm into the serious cultivation, right? So I actually like to visit the temple to see the culture, the differences, So I went to see and I asked my Vietnamese friend, what temple does she visit? So I thought using her reference, being a Buddhist, so I can take a look. But of course, I also checked out the Google,
Yes.
which are the Buddhist temple. So it lists a few Buddhist temple. So I thought, then I kind of asked my friend, what do you think about this Buddhist temple? Do you go to this Buddhist temple? So she told me she went to 3 of these Buddhist temple most of the time lah. So so with that in mind, I kind of like look at the map and see which are the nearest to the location that I stay, like, in the hotel near the temple that's near, So excuse me, I kind of like
Never
dry
mind,
my throat.
slowly. Yeah.
So I went to one of the nearest to the hotel, which is she say very nice, is in the lake, So I went there and then without looking at the Google what to expect of the temple, so I went in. You need to pay an entrance fee, a minimum sum of entrance fee. Then we went in. It's a very nice temple actually, in the sense that it has a very beautiful lake. It has a bridge, and surprisingly, a lot of tourists also and locals also visit the temple lah.
Oh,
And
okay.
because we went pretty late, actually not say pretty late but the sun set very fast, like 5:30 already dark,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very fast. The sky turned dark,
Yeah, shorter
So
day, longer
yeah,
night.
shorter day, very short. So
Mm.
we anyway, it's not a big temple, it's a small temple that we went.
Oh.
And it was not I expected lah. I mean, actually I don't know what to expect of it because this is the first time I went there. So I said, Buddhist temple like that. I so take a look lah. I know that they have a big, they call it the sword turtle in the temple. Very big too. I think maybe it's a real turtle that died or what. They kind of like put it for display to see lah. Such a huge turtle. In the temple.
Okay.
Maybe from the lake or what, I do not know, because I didn't. I actually took a picture of it, but I haven't got time to read the story about this turtle. So
Yeah, it's okay. No problem.
it kind of like not what I expected as a Buddhist temple, brother.
Oh, okay. Because different places, different culture, they are all different. So
Correct.
we need to understand. But
Yes.
basically, if it's a Mahayana temple, you go in, the few buildings are quite similar. Is it a Mahayana temple?
Actually, it's not. It's not a Mahayana temple.
Oh,
It's more like a local temple, brother.
like a
Yeah.
local Vietnamese.
But it's written there Buddhist temple, kind of funny. I mean, on the Google,
Yeah.
Google it's
Means
Buddhist.
according to the Vietnamese tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Buddhist temple. So I don't see any Buddha statue there. So I kind of like do not know. I also don't see any Kuan Yin statue there. So I also don't know, Yeah, so I don't know what kind of temple is that like, I was looking for that kind of
yeah.
statue to tell me that it's a Buddhist temple or something like that, no, brother.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, never mind, because it's the first time. So I didn't expect anything, so never mind, So I go on with my other stuff, and
Yeah.
okay, what I want to tell you is surprisingly, we have to cancel one of our trip to Sapai, which is the Fancy Pan, the very nice place, where you go up to the mountain because of the cable car was under maintenance. So we have to cancel it because we don't want to spend 6 hours there and then never get to see the mountain,
Yeah.
where I Google, my friend told me, my friend been there, she said, very nice. You have the very big Kuan Yin statue there, So I thought
Okay.
I want to go and see, It's a
Yeah.
very nice view of the mountain. But anyway, cancel. So we had a lot of time and we do not know what to do. So, but anyway, my husband actually booked a one-day tour to this special place called Bainin. And I didn't have time to Google, because at time I also didn't mind what he planned or whatever he planned is okay with me.
Yeah.
But brother, that was a very, very interesting trip because I was like so amazed by the big, huge temple, It's a Buddhist temple.
Sadhu.
It's a Buddhist Mahayana temple, brother. So
Sadhu.
it was so big, and we even had to take the mini electric car, around from the entrance
Okay.
to the hall, to the hall. Is you have to you have to take the ride, the mini electric car ride. They use electric
Okay.
car. They are quite green. In terms of saving reducing the carbon footprint. So we went
Okay.
there, and I tell you, brother, the temple is so huge. It's on 700 hectares to 800 hectares of
That's
area.
very big.
Yes, 700 to 800 hectares of
That
area.
is very, very big.
Yeah. I was like shocked. So when we go there,
What
it's
is the
like
name of that temple?
Bainin Temple.
Baining. Haven't heard of.
Baininh. So
Uh,
yeah,
which
so
part
we
of
went there.
Vietnam is it?
It's the north of Vietnam.
North. Is it Da
Yeah.
Nang area?
No. Da Nang is the middle of Vietnam.
Middle.
Yeah, it's further north of Hanoi. So
Is it near the Halong Bay there?
for Hanoi is at the coastal. This one is not at the coastal. This is
Okay.
inner
Inner
part.
region. Inner
Yes,
region.
inner region. But it's not too far from Hanoi. It's like a 2.5 hour journey.
Means it's quite near to China.
Yes. Quite near actually. Yes. So the temple is so huge, right? And then the statue is so beautiful, brother.
Sadhu.
You can Google and you can see it, so huge and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And they have not just one. I mean, they have the Chen in Guan Yin, yeah, and then they have the Guan Yin on both sides, left and right, very tall and big, in the sense, very elegant and nice,
If we ask this Mr. To organize, I think we must put this in the itinerary.
Yes. I think so, brother. But you must not just spend like half a day.
Middle
You must
part. I never go
I think
north.
it's better spend like one full
Yeah,
day,
can ask
and
him.
then
Yeah.
overnight stay or something like that. Based on it, because it's such a big area, we kind of like we are given like 1.5 hour, so little. So we didn't explore everything. We just go to two main hall. I mean, surprisingly, this tour guide is very clever. He just choose the main hall to go to, which is the
because too
Guan Yin
big.
and
That
the
place is
Sakyamuni
too big.
Buddha,
Yeah,
but we didn't
that
get to
place
go
is
to
too
the
big.
Maitreya Buddha Hall. We didn't get to go to another place. I also cannot remember. So there are a few places we didn't get to go, the stupa also we didn't get to go, where they said there's the relics of the Buddha there, So we also didn't get to go. Yeah. So we also didn't get to go. So then go to the Sakyamuni Buddha, right? Wow, it's so nice, so like how is it, mesmerizing, you know, the statue is so nice and shining, is like gold, you know, glittering gold like that, you know. I don't know whether it's gold or not, but I think maybe it's
this temple is worth going from the
yeah.
way you describe it.
Yes, yes, it's very
Yeah.
beautiful, and the whole place is so beautiful. The whole place well maintained, the garden, and then you will walk. Many you must plan to walk, no, because the many steps are, and then they have this 500 arahants corridor, you know, that you
Oh,
can
the hall,
go
yeah.
and see all
500
the
Arahant
various
hall,
statue
yeah.
of the different arahants, you know, but I do not know
Yeah,
the name.
yeah, yeah.
500, then you walk, you know, it's a lot of
Oh,
walking to
means
do.
this one is a real Mahayana temple. They have all
Yes,
this.
yes,
Very big one.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, correct. So it's I mean, this bonus for me, you know, wow, I said this is like unexpected, so nice, so different, you know.
Yeah,
And
compared to the first one, got
yeah,
nothing. Huh?
yes. Although the first one is at the beautiful lake, but the temple is not what I expected, you see,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
this one is like not a beautiful lake, but it is a very beautiful mountain, you know, huge, 700, 800 hectares of land. And the only thing is we don't have time to go
Oh,
and see everything, you know.
this is really something interesting. I never knew Vietnam got such a big temple. Uh,
Yes, yes, brother.
means is it a private owned?
No, everybody can go and visit, brother.
I know. Is the
Okay,
owner a listed company or just a private
actually,
people?
the details I do not know, but I know that this tour guide told me that there is this rich man that turned from rags to riches, contributed to this temple so much, you know,
Oh, no wonder. Now I know. Yeah, yeah. It's
quite
definitely got this type of
well
story on.
maintained and so well. But whether private or not, public or not, I do not know, brother. But this
Yeah,
rich
yeah.
man contributed
Means
greatly
this
to
rich
the,
man must have bought the land. Otherwise, they cannot have it. Yeah.
yeah, some, the detail I
It's
do not know
just
yet because
like
brother, I never read.
last time we went to China that trade the Huineng Liuzhu. I think at one of the temple, Liuzhu Si or what I forgot already. Sihui, there is also a story of somebody who actually went there and he after that like more or less rag to riches. Then he vowed to come back and build up the area and he really come back after he make his money in Hong Kong. Then he come back, he donated a lot and he built up the whole place. Yeah, that's why sometimes it's meant to be. Then this
Actually,
thing can
Brazil,
happen.
this is exactly his words also. He said that he make his riches from the land, so he want to contribute and pay back, contribute back to
Correct,
the
yes.
society. So that's why he
Mm.
contributed in the road building as well. So
Oh, sadhu.
in the past, we this is according to the tour guide. They took
Yeah.
5 hours to go from Hanoi to the temple. 5 hours. Now it's cut short uh,
Oh,
by half. So it's become 2.5 hours instead of
wow,
five
good.
hours.
Means they have
So
highway. Huh?
yes. They built
Uh,
he built the highway, he paid all the money to build the highway to the
wow, very
temple.
good. Huh?
Yeah.
Sadhu to him. Yeah.
And so the temple also have the mini electric car for you, from the entrance
Wow,
to
that's
the
very,
hall.
very
So you don't have to walk, when
special.
you walk,
Yeah.
very stressful to see the
Yeah,
temple,
yeah. To maintain the area is not easy, It must have cost them a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, but you pay a minimum sum to enter to use the mini electric car, lah,
Oh,
brother.
vehicle.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Worth
a
it
mini
or
sum.
if it's like that, it's worth it. Yeah.
Yes.
You
So
can use it to drive around. Yeah.
yes. And
Environmentally friendly. Some more.
correct.
Uh,
But you need a tour guide to like arrange everything nicely with whatever, whoever that they will ferry you here and there,
oh,
Otherwise,
that's very good. So you
yeah.
all travel on a bus.
Yeah. The bus also, Roberto, is not the local small bus. It's a limousine bus that is very comfortable, Roberto.
Oh, sadhu.
Yeah.
How
The whole
many of
thing,
you all?
the maximum people is 17 people. So we have 17
Oh,
people on the bus
mm.
to the temple, locals and
Oh,
foreigners,
there is the quite a luxurious one. Good.
Yes. Hey, but
Uh,
Roberto, very cheap, leh.
how much it cost you
Yes,
all?
everything in Vietnam is very cheap, you know, Brother Teo. I tell you, you cannot
How
believe
much?
it. It's only 48 Sing dollar, you know,
Oh,
per person, you
yeah.
know.
My wife
Everything
at
included, you
Pamasuri
know, the
said cheap
bus,
because it's in Sing dollar.
is it? No, no, wait, you listen, the entrance fee is free. The transport back and forth to your hotel is free. I mean, included, not say free,
Yeah,
inclusive.
yeah.
And by the way, this is not the only place that we visited. Like I told you, we followed a tour. We only have 1.5 hours at the monastery. After that, he bring us to another 2 different locations, plus lunch included, no, Brother Teo. So everything, you
Oh,
know, 3 places.
that's cheap.
Yes, that's why I say it's very cheap. It's just that we don't have
How
enough
many
time
days
to.
total? Total, how many
No,
days?
no, this is just a 1-day tour, right?
Oh, one
One
day
day
tour
tour.
only.
You see
Oh,
so many things.
how much
No, no,
it cost you?
no. For me, I'm saying we went there for 7 days. Just that we visit this place is a 1-day
Oh,
tour.
this is a local tour, separate one.
Yes.
Not in your original itinerary on.
No. We change it, but we do it the booking in Singapore.
Oh, okay. Can you send
Yeah.
the itinerary to us?
Yes,
Send
definitely.
to us, then we
But I
have a
think it
look.
would be better to have a 1 night or 2 night there. Plus, Brother, there's other
Yeah.
temples
Because
that we must
Brother
go and see also.
can help us arrange where he familiar with Vietnam tour. He is
Okay.
doing a lot now, he said. So you send us the itinerary. Yeah?
Who is doing it?
Mr. Our
Oh, okay.
tourist
Oh,
no, our tourist what our tour company
uh,
who
in,
specialize
in
organizing
Malaysia, is it? In
Kayamita tour
Malaysia,
one.
is it? In Malaysia.
Yeah, in Malaysia, all
Oh,
the spiritual trip last time he went before MCO, mostly is arranged by him one, and he did
oh,
very well. But China locked down, so now he do Vietnam. So
oh,
we promised him during my gathering of Kayamita birthday lunch that we will talk to him. Pamasri got the itinerary, but different. So include yours, then I can maybe discuss with Pamasri, then talk to Mr. And get it sorted out. Where China, I don't think is going to open so fast. We are now locked down some more. Yeah, but recently the case went up again. No? Oh, no wonder. So asymptomatic lah. Oh, that is very good lah. That is very good. Okay. So, Pocheng, very good. Send us
yes,
the itinerary.
yes. Variety of, but just one temple not good enough. There are many other temples that is worth going as well along.
Yes.
Yes,
Let us
like
know.
I also check out one other temple that I'd like to go, which I didn't go, because it's very far away from one place to
Then
another.
our next
So
trip you can come along.
yeah. So I like to suggest another temple we go as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Forward to
So
us.
so this temple I find very nice, and the thing is the environment is also very conducive, very quiet, and
Oh.
this tour guide told us that there is this Bodhi garden, but this Bodhi plant is different from the Bodhi plant that we have seen in Bogaya. But actually they have two types. They have two types. One other type, because it was fruiting so huge, so many fruits. So I say, he was telling us this fruit is very good to make into wine, to cure your bones, to strengthen your bones and
Okay.
things like that. And he tell me that is a Bodhi plant. I said, how come Bodhi plant is different? The leaves also different. There's fruit. Or he said this one is the so-called same family of Bodhi plant. Okay. But the Bodhi plant that we see, the leaves is heart-shaped one, but this is not. Yeah. But anyway, that monastery has a lot of this plant, and they use it to make drinks to strengthen the bones. Yeah. So
Okay.
I also had this, I took pictures of this plant also with the many fruits. So
Oh,
interesting
you
also.
want to share? You can
Yeah.
share
But
later.
yeah, I can share
Later.
Yes.
Whatever
So
picture you have.
yes. So that was also
Share
very,
in our WhatsApp group. Yeah.
yes. So that it was very interesting trip. Okay,
Oh,
then
sadhu.
then I want to tell you about my meditation report on the trip
Sadhu.
to the mountain, Brother Teo. to the mountain. So this is one mountain trip after the second destination. This tour also bring us to this lake, this huge lake that we boating or kayaking, that you kayak with some people, the worker, that actually is the one that do the boating for us. But because they also give us the paddle, so we also help to paddle, because poor thing, he has to paddle the whole place, for 2 hours, right? The whole lake, you cover 2 hours, and you cover a few caves. The caves is above the mountain, above the lake, and below the mountain, something like that, right? Very interesting. So if you go to Vietnam, you must go to the Halong Bay, where you see all the mountains.
The scenery very nice, I was told.
Yes, the South China Sea. The mountains is inside the South China Sea, it's in the ocean now. But this one, the mountain is on land, and the lake is, the mountain is surrounding the lake, the huge lake. Paddle, for 2 hours, So it's very different, but very nice compared to the Halong Bay. The Halong Bay has a different beauty itself, which we also went, which is very good to go. Must go, that one very good, to go to see the ocean, the color of the ocean from green to blue and blue to green, very beautiful,
Yes. Oh, that's very good. And, I didn't know Vietnam got such places.
Yeah, so beautiful. We must go, actually. Then
good. Send us the itinerary, then some WhatsApp photo. Then I will make sure I arrange with Pamasuri there. Then we talk to Mr. Hopefully we can have a trip.
Yes. Okay, coming back to this mountain, right? So we were given 1 hour and about 5 minutes to climb the mountain, Brother Teo. Mountain that has is a huge mountain. According to the tour guide, he said it's 500 steps. You go up the mountain to the mountain peak, then you come down in 1 hour. Finish in 1 hour, because the sun is going to become dark. So there's not much lighting, so you have to come down, by hook or crook, you have to come down. So because it's the last itinerary, so the sun is going to set. So, but anyway, we have 1 hour from 4 to 5 We have to come down at 5. The entrance there, all of us will meet. So being the old people in the bus, right? I mean, there are young people and old people, Brother. So I also did not expect the mountain is. I mean, I don't have any expectation how the mountain. I mean, how do we climb up and come down? He just said you go up and come down, and then you meet here. That's it. The tour guide said it's 500 steps 500 steps. So 500 steps is like okay doable We go We go. And then because my husband has long legs, so he has the advantage of climbing the steps easily. Short leg got problem. Then being old and I also have height phobia, so going up is a problem. So I had I find that because the mountain as you go higher and higher becomes narrow and narrower, the path, it was wide and not so steep. I mean, wide step. I mean, like you can have a few people, walking up. As you go up to the peak, it become like less and less people can go at the same time, Brother.
More narrow.
So yes, more narrow, and then the step it becomes steeper and steeper. It's no longer like the smaller step but bigger step.
Correct.
It is like call that rock climbing, that kind of thing. Become more and more tough. As you go higher and higher.
Okay.
And steeper. Steeper. So the feeling of going up makes me giddy. While I look at it, everybody it makes me giddy. Really. Because rushing, I felt a bit giddy, but my husband was okay. I felt very giddy, So I said, you go ahead, because if I cannot complete it, it's okay. I just stop somewhere.
No need to finish. You can just stop halfway.
Yes, I can stop halfway. You go ahead and do whatever you want and see what you want. Because it's very beautiful, from the top. I'm very sure.
The scenery,
Yes, the scenery is, you can see the whole valley, whole valley. Yes. So I actually managed halfway. Okay, so I said here. I will stop here because there's a platform. I can see the view. I can see the pagoda. I can see. Actually, brother, this mountain has two peaks. We only go to one peak, whatever peak that my husband chose. He want to see the dragon. He said,
okay.
So he said he will choose that peak. So I follow him lah. The other peak I do not know lah, but we only manage one peak. So, but there are two peaks. If you want to have two peaks, you cannot go like 1 hour. You have to go more than 1 hour lah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I stopped at the rest area, at the middle of the mountain, Then I say, I look around, I see quite nice view. I'm very happy,
Sadhu.
I say I can stop here, I can stop here. But it's very funny, there's this urge that said I must continue,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I don't feel giddy anymore. So I said, I must continue. So then I just said, okay, let me continue, try a few steps, and then I reached the peak, brother Teo.
Wow, Sadhu.
I reached the peak, then I look around, you're very crowded, the platform very crowded, right? So, but I managed to see the view. Then I said, wow, the view so nice, I should take a video of it,
Yeah, Sadhu.
I want to show my children. So when I took the view, then suddenly I saw the Guan Yin in front of me. I said, how come got Guan Yin here,
Wow, Sadhu.
But actually there is a Guan Yin there, right?
Oh.
Yes. But I didn't know there is a Guan Yin, and the tour guide also never tell us, and we never do the so-called homework to check what is there, to see it, what to expect. We didn't do any of that, you see. So we just go there and see, and suddenly, hey, this Guan Yin is in front of me, you know what I mean? Because I was taking a video of 360.
Yeah. Then the Guan Yin appear.
Yes. In the video, they say, hey, how come Guan Yin here? So I said, I look around, I say, because so many people, brother Teo, So I don't know whether it's really Guan Yin or not, because it was all in white at first. When I look at the video, it's, hey, how come got one picture all white, Then I said, it must be Guan Yin. Then when I look around again, it is really the Guan Yin statue at the top of the peak,
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
I didn't expect it, because my husband tell me, the tour guide said, go and look at the dragon, look at the dragon. So I didn't see the dragon, but I see the Guan Yin statue. But actually,
Yeah. Sadhu.
there is also the dragon further up a few more steps. Above.
Okay.
But because, like I said, the step is all very narrow and only a few people can go. It was traffic jam. Anyway, cannot go up there anymore because full of people already, but they never
Okay.
So it was like that. It was very beautiful and very unexpected. And it's just that I didn't expect that I can go up to the peak.
Reach the peak.
So
Yeah.
Again, I said, I didn't expect it. So it was very beautiful, right?
Sadhu. Very good.
But the one thing I did was, because I was feeling right, I used the Kaya Nupasana to help me with my
Yeah, that one will help a lot. That's why
Yeah.
I was about to ask you, when you are very tired climbing up the steps, you must be aware. Then when you are aware, when you are tired, your consciousness become different. Become very different. That's why just now you mentioned, when you feel giddy, at that time you are not with your kaya. Then after that, when you rest, your mindfulness come back. Then you realize you can move again, you can walk again. That's why you will be able to continue until you reach the peak. So when you are tired, just relax. Sometimes you need to rest, you rest. Then accord and flow, body and mind as one. You feel very different. Then that walking become very different. That mindfulness also become very different. Because when you are tired, there is no control over your body. Only most of the time is the awareness and the mindfulness is there. And you barely just able to sustain yourself to climb up. But very interesting. I remember when we climbed Fanjing San. Wow, also very steep. I don't think yours is as steep as Fanjing San. That one, we reached the top. Everybody completed. That was a heroic one. But now you ask me to climb that one, I don't want to. At this age, cannot. Luckily, Mr. took us the back door, not from the front door. Because Mr. went there and do a survey, recognize, they call it the survey before he take us. He did a good job. Then he said, if there is the way down so much easier, well, when he went up the hard one. He said that one impossible for Kayamita to climb. So luckily we go through back door. We go up from the coming down one, then we come down also same place. Yeah. But it was interesting, yeah. Then I remember Ling San Ta Fo, we went there, also a lot of walking. Very the Buddha is so big that from the valley traveling along the road, from far you can see the Buddha like walking in the mountain. It's very, very big. Then when you are there, they got this bronze Buddha and the hand very big. 10 or 20 people can take photo and the hand can cover. So that one was very good. Then we saw some plants, the tree with the birds. We took the photo of the bird. They are like Dharma birds in a row. So the energy there all very good. Did you feel the energy there? Project?
Radio when I was at the temple, right? So I was doing my salutation, right? Then I
Yeah,
feel the energy from my heart and my palm, you know.
yeah,
Yes, yes, I feel the energy. So that's why I felt that there's a connection to the temple.
yeah.
And
You were drawn.
yes,
You were drawn.
yes. So that's why I felt there's a connection. Although the time span is very little,
Yeah, it's
I
meant
have
to
so
be
good.
for you to be there so that you can draw all this nature's energy and the great beings' energy. Some of these places they have, especially the temple with 700 to 800 hectares. That one definitely got something there. That's why they tell you got relics and all those things. Then your this temple so high also for people to build, there must be a reason for it, the history. So send us the itinerary. Very good, Pajay. Mm,
Okay, I will send the itinerary
mm,
of the temple, and then
yeah,
if you are interested, the mountain and also the lake. I felt that it's worth going lah. Plus
yeah,
the
yeah,
Halong
yeah.
Bay
Send to us. Send to us.
it's
Yeah.
worth going. And then I also
Uh,
uh, want to go to
huh.
Da Nang, you know, Da Nang where there is this temple, other temple that is close by to Da Nang, you know.
Yeah, they
And
told me Da Nang quite nice also. My brother
yes,
went there. Mm.
yes. So I also like to go, but I haven't go to the Da Nang area yet, you know. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
I think it's not too far, but not too near also, brother. But you definitely have to take either a long bus ride, train
Yeah,
ride,
yeah, yeah.
a flight, you know, whatever that is, you know, convenient to us. Yeah.
Oh, our itinerary include Da Nang.
Yes, yes. So I would say we should cover the Bainin, and then the other one, if you're interested, is the Sapa, which is very beautiful also, where they have the big Kuan Yin statue, the big
Ah,
also.
good, good. Send
Yeah,
us that one.
cover that one, but because of
Oh, Mr. Pamasuri say Mr. Ear's itinerary has.
okay,
Uh,
because of but we have to make sure we choose the time that the cable will.
correct, correct. That's why you have to advise us. You send to us, then you advise us.
Yes. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, it will
Thank
be.
you so much. So sadhu, project.
Sadhu, sadhu, yes.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That's rejoice. Oh, good sharing, meant to be. So WhatsApp to us the photo also. Okay, so we will end. Thank you so much. Let us rejoice. Today is an auspicious occasion. Our election end very well. So everybody now have good smiling face. They have a lot of faith for our country now, our country's future. Then everybody is having the joy, especially witnessing the stock market and the currency strengthening. There is a lot of joy, really. Then we hope with this, the consciousness continue to evolve and Malaysia will be another up and coming country again, dragon. in the making. Okay, let us now share merits. Akasata cha bomata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditwa cirang rakhantu loka sasana etta wata jamehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo devo asatu kalina sasa sampati hetu cha Fito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo otu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, we can now pay respect mindfully to Kuan Yin, Sakyamuni Buddha, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Thank you.
My dear brothers and sisters in Dharma, let's fold our palms together to say a big sadhu to Brother Teo and Mrs. Teo for coming all the way to share this beautiful Dharma with us by saying sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Sadhu to Brother Chin Hao for fetching Brother Teo and doing all the zooming and recording. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu to Sister Poching for the interesting sharing. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu to everyone, inclusive of those online, for being here tonight to hear the beautiful sharing, beautiful and profound sharing on the Noble Eightfold Path by Brother Teo. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu to Brother Tube and Sister Permaisuri for providing such a wonderful place for us to conduct the Buddha Dharma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu.